Hi, this is Tanya from Flying Dog Studio. Thanks for joining me. Today I am working on a portrait of one of my lovely nieces. As you can see, I already have the drawing in process here. I used the Derwent pencil that's under your sketching brushes, and I am starting to fill in some of the lights and darks, and for that I'm using the peppermint pencil under the sketching brushes. For the hair, I am blocking in the entire area with the watercolor brush, just in solid black since this is a black and white piece. And then I am erasing out all the areas I do not need. Now, one disadvantage of this is that you will get sharp edges on the outside, but I will show you how to soften those up later. I'm coming back in, since I'm keeping things consistent with my peppermint pencil brush, I'm coming back in with a peppermint eraser. Again, you go to the eraser and you select the peppermint pencil, and I'm erasing out all of the details and all of the lights in her hair. So you'll see that through this entire set. Now I need to add in the fine wisps of hair on her forehead. To do this, I have again blocked in the entire area with watercolor. I'm erasing what I do not need. Then I'm coming back and softening it up with the peppermint eraser. Now that I have the details worked out for her forehead, I am coming in with the peppermint pencil and getting all of the wonderful shadows on her face. Now that we have some shadows on her face, it's time to soften the hair. As you can see, I am using the blending brush in this area with the peppermint pencil option. And any excess that I have, I'm using the eraser. Keep that blender very, very light. Starting to add in darker areas in the hair, and I will do that. I did not leave the hair turned up to the very darkest on that layer when I put the watercolor on. I turned it back a bit so that I could lift some shadows out. Now you see I'm starting to add in all of those dark underlayers, and that gives us some depth on the hair. As I've said in previous videos, when we are working with hair, you have to think of hair as having three different levels. You have the dark level, the medium, and then you have that highlight level. So we started with our medium level, we pulled out the highlights, and now we're adding in the darks. All right, we're finally starting on the hat area, and I have used the same technique as with the hair. I fill the entire area in with watercolor, and I'm erasing out with the peppermint pencil the areas that I do not need, giving it a little depth and a little texture, adding in some dark. You will see the hat is going to get quite a bit darker under there. What I did was I copied the layer, duplicated it, and then merged it together, and that added that darkness in without me having to go too dark all at once. It's much easier to control that way. I am starting to lay in the background area at this point. I like to put in the background area, especially since she has a hat. That's going to allow me to make certain all of my edges blend in and everything works into her face. So there are little details going on here. I put in the color, I'll erase it back a little bit because some areas are darker, some are light, depending on how the light is hitting things. Now that my background is blocked in, I am going to work on this hat. I'm going to use the same technique as I did on the hair. I'm going to use the blending brush, blend right at the edge, keep that opacity turned down on the blender brush. You're going to get some excess pulled out into your white. Just use your eraser, again, turn down very low, and just clean up those edges. At this point, I am simply cleaning up edges and adding some further detail and depth to the piece. If you want to take a look at how I work on just the hair, I do have some hair videos. Take a look at some of my playlists. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments. Thanks so much.